Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It's James here. I hope you're doing okay. We are back with another shop review video. So the previous one I did had sort of relatively positive feedback, even though it wasn't a totally positive review. So I thought I would do it again. Obviously, like I said in the last video, I've got quite a few of these to work through. So there will probably be quite a few coming out in the foreseeable future. I also was planning today on doing a video on a UK based plant shop, but then I realized they didn't actually ship to the rest of the EU, and as most of my subscribers aren't actually based in the UK, I thought it didn't make sense to make a standalone video about those shops. So what I'll probably do at some point is kind of clump them together and do a single video with some of my top UK based plant sellers. There aren't too many, but there are a couple of smaller ones that I think are really worth going to if you're based in the UK. Before we get into this, I just wanted to kind of revisit last week's video. A lot of people came to me afterwards saying that I'd sort of missed things out. I hadn't been harsh enough on this particular shop, because I know there's a lot of drama, actually more and more coming out at the moment about this shop. I didn't want to get into that because that is not my experience. I can only talk about my personal experience with the shop, and I think if I start going into other people's stories, then it just becomes like a drama channel, which we're not doing. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Obviously, all of these reviews are based on my sole experience. I don't think it's fair to take information from other people, because obviously the people who are most vocal about experiences tend to be the people who've had negative experiences. So just solely basing on my experience, I would recommend, if you were really considering going to shop from one of these places, just getting a second opinion, or a third or a fourth, just checking with your local plant community, with people in your country. Yeah, people in your city even, just check if anyone's ordered from them, if they had a good experience, just to kind of back up whatever we talk about here, because yeah, I think that makes sense. So we're gonna get straight into this. The shop we're talking about today is I'm just gonna say it right from the start, it's an amazing shop. It's called Aroid Apartment. I've shopped from them quite a few times, and good. So we're gonna get into it. We'll break down why it's good. There are a couple of areas that could be improved, I think, but generally very cool experience. And then I'll show you a couple of the plants that I got from this shop and just how well they're doing, because both of them are doing super well. Right, so we're going to get into it. Again, we've got our 6 categories that we're going to go through. I'll just run through them quickly. The first one is pricing, so how does it compare? The second one is selection, so what they have available, how often they restock, etc. The third one is communication, so how easy is it to get in touch with the seller, ask questions, concerns, complaints, etc. The fourth one is shipping and packaging. The fifth one is plant quality, so what are we actually working with when the plant arrives. And the sixth one is just a general experience one. So that's kind of when I'm going to bring together the averages of all these different sections, which are all rated out of 5, and we will see what the general experience of the shop was. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so first category, pricing. The price in the shop is quite high. I have the page open here. It is quite high, but I will go into this later on. You really do get what you pay for. So there are options throughout Europe to buy these similar plants. A lot of them you couldn't find elsewhere, at the moment anyway, but there are options to buy a lot of these plants for a little bit cheaper. That doesn't necessarily mean that's a wise move, unless you're quite kind of experienced in rehabbing plants that have not been treated super well in their transit time. You want to pay a little bit more. I think particularly when you're first coming into this world of slightly rarer aroids, it can be a little bit intimidating looking at the price tag, but you do pay for what you get. So yeah, I think it's smart to invest a little bit more in a plant, just so that you are sure that it's going to survive. And the customer service in this place is great, so if you do ever have an issue with one of the plants, no worries at all. I'm sure you can get a replacement or a refund. Yeah, everything is healthy and well rooted, so although the price is a little bit steep for some things, it's worth it, I think. Everything is in euros, so I'm looking at things and I'm kind of thinking, oh, that's a lot, but it's euros, so it's a little bit less. Still expensive though. Okay, so out of that, let's give them a 3.5 out of 5. Still good, not an issue, but I would say that you could get these plants elsewhere for cheaper. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Second section, we're going to go into plant selection. This is an extremely good category for them. But looking through here, the selection is fantastic. There are, I can see anthurium already just on what's available at the moment. So if you see this, quick get on there, see if there's anything you want. I can see philodendron, there's anthurium, there's loads of anthurium, there are hybrids. What have we got? Yeah, a bunch of philodendron and anthurium at the moment, but really cool ones. Metallicum anthurium. a huge philodendron esmeraldense, which I really, really want, but I just can't justify that spend at the moment. I already have one. I just have to be patient, but check it out. If you've got a little bit of money to spend at the moment, go and have a look. I've seen on her page, I've seen alocasia, there's rhaphidophora, I've seen monstera, all sorts. Basically everything that you can think of is available at some point or another. Pretty regular updates, so there's no set time. I don't think. She kind of just informs, like on your Instagram, if you follow her on Instagram at Aroid Apartment, they will just sort of inform you the day off or the day before that some plants are going up. So it's kind of nice. You don't have that crazy rush of people that you always feel like there's something cool available. And like these plants have been up for days now. They are a little bit expensive, but I would expect most of these to be gone at this point. If they were on another shop, so definitely have a look, because there are some super cool ones there. Yes, I'm not going to say, have a look. So in that section, the only reason why I'm not going to give them a full 5 out of 5, obviously it's in the name Aroid Apartment, but the only thing that she sells, as far as I've seen at Aroids, I think that's amazing, but for some people that might not be your thing. So I'm going to give her a 4.5 out of 5. Still fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, it's a 5, but just sort of, you know, to be fair to other shops. Yeah, fantastic. Section 3, we're going to talk about communication. This is a very good section. I've had no issues, but I've had multiple communications with the seller. Once I ordered a philodendron snowdrift, and she actually contacted me saying the roots aren't fully developed, so I'd rather not sell you this plant, and I completely understand that. I think that's amazing. Most sellers wouldn't care. Once you've paid, they'll send it to you in hope that you can sort it and deal with it yourself. But they made sure to check with me and to refund me immediately, which is fantastic. She also actually gave me the option to keep that payment until a better specimen arrived. So that is an option if anything is ever held back from you. Also, I bought a philodendron majestic, which I will show you in a second, but the cutting that I actually purchased, she contacted me again saying that the roots hadn't fully developed, and did I want this slightly different cutting which had slightly less leaf growth but had an incredible root system. And oh my goodness, what a root system. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, super, super happy with that. Any questions that I've had, she's answered like quickly. Yeah, I've talked about plants that I would like to find, although that hasn't worked out. She's been open to it, so that's fantastic. I think that's great when sellers are interested to hear what the buyers want and are happy to import those, rather than just going for the sort of standard rare phyllos and anthurium. So yeah, that's super cool. I'm going to give her a 5 out of 5. There's in my experience personally, nothing to fault her on. Yeah, other people may have had different experiences, but as far as I'm concerned, it's fantastic. Right, going on to section 4, this is shipping and packaging. So again, great. It's express at the moment anyway. I think it was express the first time I ordered from her. Can't remember. But anyway, it comes very, very fast, within a week at least. And I haven't had anything held over the weekend, which is nice. Plants were well packaged and insulated against the cold. A couple of them I ordered sort of in the winter time, and I think there was a free heat pack. I can't actually remember, but I'm pretty sure there was, because there were some delicate plants in there. So that's great. Yeah, 5 out of 5, no issues at all. Super. I always, when I get a plant, it's a little bit dangerous, but I always give the box a little bit of a shake just to check that things are well packaged. And myself as well, when I send a plant to people, I give it a good shake. And if there's any kind of shifting inside, then you know you've got to add a little bit more padding in there. So yeah, that is past that test, absolutely. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Section 5, this is plant quality, and this is a great one. This is where we kind of come back to the pricing at the start, and this is where that pricing really is worthwhile. I've ordered the reason why I'm doing this is I've ordered so many plants from so many different places and had so many different experiences. Aroid Apartment, I've never had, so far, not had a negative experience, and I have not had an issue immediately after with any of the plants I ordered from her. My foraminifera, I think I'm saying that right now. It used to be foraminifera. I think it's foraminifera, is struggling a little bit, but that's down to me. I'm not 100% sure what conditions it likes at the moment, so it's struggling just a tiny bit. It'll be okay. But yeah, no issues directly after buying and receiving the plant. Yeah, let's talk about this majestic, because this is a really, really good example. So she replaced the majestic that I ordered with a plant that had a more established root system, and I thought, oh great, it'll probably be like a rooted cutting with like a couple of inches worth of roots. That's all I was expecting. I got this plant, which at the time when I received it was an unfurled leaf. It had a single unfurled leaf. I was happy because for those of you who are after a Philodendron Majestic, they are hard to find in the EU. People are starting to import them, but to get an established plant that is sort of healthy is difficult, and it was even harder when I placed this order. So I got this plant and I was like, okay, great, a little bit smaller than I was expecting. Took it out to check the roots, and they were at least a foot long, just huge hanging roots. So happy with it. So you're going to get a substantial plant for your money, and that is very, very important. I'll show you the plant in a second. Yeah, massive fan of the plant quality. None of them had like that little dormancy period where they were overly shocked by shipping or their treatment beforehand. They just went straight into growth, which is just really nice when you order a plant. Again, personally, I haven't had any issues with pests. I haven't had a single pest off the plants. No issues with root rot during transit, nothing like that. So 5 out of 5 plant quality experience. And you'll see, like, if you go on the page, I'd absolutely recommend going and checking it out. Like, everything just looks healthy. And I know that you can manipulate that with the style of picture you take, but everything just looks good. Yeah, just scrolling through it now, looks fantastic. Okay, we'll go on to number 6. So this is the general experience, just an overall kind of overview of how things went with this shop. And you've probably guessed it was a good experience. That's why I'm doing this. I kind of want to, as well as talking about the shops that are a little bit problematic, talk about the shops that are really, really great, because I think they deserve more attention. So like, this is exactly what I want a plant shop to be. It's someone who's passionate about the plants, who knows exactly what they're talking about, and who isn't just importing and selling. Yeah, overall, really, really good experience. I would recommend, if you're in Europe, check it out. Like I said, a little bit pricier than some other shops, but 100% worth it. And some really cool plants on at the moment. So I'll put the link down in the description below. Have a little look, snap some plants up maybe. So the average of all that, I'm going to give her a score of 4.6 out of 5, which is definitely up there with some of the best plant shops in Europe. And I'm just going to show you a couple of the plants that I got from her. So this is the Majestic we were talking about before. This leaf was minuscule, not really unfurling, and it has now got 3 leaves and a 4th one coming through, and it is just amazing. So this is the hybrid of Aroid and Verrucosum, so it has some of the lovely characteristics of both. If I turn the leaf around, you can see a little bit of that Verrucosum red on the back, and on the front it's got that Aroid splashing. And if you've not seen a mature form yet, go and check it out. They're beautiful, huge, velvety, ripply, incredible beings. So I'm very excited. Obviously, it is now possible to import some slightly more mature specimens, but I'm more than happy with this. I'm confident I can get it to grow some substantial leaves either this year or next, we will see. So yeah, very, very cool plant, Philodendron Majestic, love it. The second plant I want to show you is an anthurium. This is the Anthurium peltigerum. This is one of the closed sinus anthuriums, so similar to Forgetii. I've shown this in a video before. It's doing nicely. I think it lost a leaf. Maybe it didn't. No, I don't think it did lose a leaf. This one's kind of getting a little bit crinkly. This is a newer leaf, and it actually has a new leaf coming through at the moment. So very happy with it. I'm excited to see these leaves get a little bit bigger. I think I had it in a position that didn't quite have enough light. So I've moved it, and yeah, it's already giving me quite a lot more little root growth along the stem there. You can see a nice little pink root, so that is good. It's definitely a happy plant. So if you're interested in exciting, fun plants like this, have a look at her shop. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have suggestions for other shops that I can review, please stick them down in the comments below. If you have differing or similar experiences with this shop, also pop them down in the comments, because I think it's nice that I've noticed with the last one, it kind of became like a little catalogue of people's experiences, which is helpful. I know that if I were looking for information on a plant shop and it was all kind of put together there, that'd be super nice. So feel free to leave a comment about that. If you want to see updates on these plants and on other plants in my collection, go check out my Instagram at slugplants. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.